Gardening myth number 1, as the rain gives us a soothing backdrop for this video. The first myth is that you need a lot of money to get started. The truth is, if you want to make a garden, you can do that with 50 bucks. That's all you need. $50 will get you some grow bags, just like this one. You can get that for like 12 bucks. And then you can also pick up some potting mix for about 10 bucks. You can get some seeds for 10 bucks as well. Actually, you can get a variety pack. You can get a pack that has lettuce, carrots, beets, just all types of different vegetables. You can also get some perlite for aeration and good drainage for your grow bags. And all of that together, if you go on Amazon and you total it up, you should come out with about $50 as your subtotal. So if you feel like gardening costs a lot of money, don't. It doesn't. Myth number 2 is that you need a humongous backyard. Really, all you need is like, I don't know, maybe an 8 by 8 foot space. If you can fit a 4 by 4 raised bed in your space wherever you live, if you've got like a small backyard that's, maybe it's just attached to a townhome. I know those have smaller backyards. You can still have a garden. All you need is a 4 by 4 foot bed, and you can still grow a significant amount of food in that bed. I was reading somewhere that a 4 by 4 can yield so much food, more than we would typically think, right? So I would definitely say don't let the fact that you don't have a big backyard stop you. Like I said before, you can use all types of containers. You can use storage containers, you can use grow bags, you can even do vertical gardening where you get a lot of pots and you align them vertically on your patio or your balcony. And growing up allows you to save a lot of space. Myth number 3 is that you need to take expensive classes to start gardening. I would say this is one of the bigger myths because a lot of people who garden, including me myself, we just learn by trial and error. Yeah, I mean, if you want to read up before you go ahead and get started, that's always a good idea. I mean, I'll always advocate for preparation, but to be honest with you, if you want a good, reliable source, Texas A&M's website is pretty good. Their extension site has a lot of free guides to help you get started with information that you can trust. So I would say start there. And then, as we all say, YouTube University, that's free, and you can learn from a wide variety of people. Yeah, Texas A&M may give you like the sciencey side, it may give you the tried and true method, but on YouTube, you'll see all types of things that may not even be covered in academia yet. And I feel like that's one of the more fun parts of gardening, just going on YouTube, seeing people try new things. So if you feel like you need to be formally trained to do this, I would say don't put that much pressure on yourself. Myth number 4 is that you need a ton of free time every day. You really don't, y'all. I would say you can probably spend 15 minutes a day. 30 minutes, maybe maximum an hour. The hard part really is getting the garden started. And even that depends on how much of a garden you want to have. I would say it took me a lot of hard work in the beginning because I was doing humongous raised beds, like 8 by 4. So these are massive. And I had to build the beds myself. I had to get soil in bulk delivered to my house. If you are just doing what I suggested earlier, which is get a bunch of grow bags, get a pack of starter seeds, get some soil, get some perlite, and just start with those things. I mean, pretty much it's as easy as watering and then waiting for results, because in a lot of those potting mixes, if you get a good potting mix, it comes with compost, comes with fertilizer already, so you should be good to go. If you really just want to make sure that your soil is healthy and has a lot of nutrients for the plants to take up, you can get something called worm castings, and you can mix that into your soil. You can also use fish emulsion. It's a good fertilizer to use. Myth number 5 is that you have to use chemicals for your fertilizers or your pest control. That is 100% false. When it comes to natural fertilizers, you can use compost, manure, coffee grounds, banana peels, fish emulsion, bone meal, and kelp, right? So all of those are natural. They'll give you essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and other trace minerals that'll be good for your plants. So yeah, you do not really have to use chemicals. And then if you're thinking about pest control, I would say the best thing for pest control is just companion planting. And one of the flowers I feel like is most beneficial for pest control is marigolds. They are what they sound like. They're golden yellow, but they not only attract pollinating bees to your plants, but they also repel the insects that you don't want on your plants. So even in my own bed, I've got rows of corn, I've got rows of green beans, and interspersed between those, I've planted marigolds. So you can always do that. Companion planting works well. Also saw a video, and I want to record this for you guys too, because I feel like it would be super helpful. But I saw this guy, I can't remember his name, but I'll definitely have it by the time I film the video. But he made this homemade mixture that repels insects as well. It was made from spoiled milk. Yes, I did say that, spoiled milk, distilled water, and yeah, he just mixed that up and put it in a spray bottle. And he sprayed his plants with it, and it kept off powdery mildew, kept off aphids, and his garden looked amazing. So once again, YouTube University, y'all, I am learning as I go as well. And matter of fact, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna film that video using the idea that he did, and we're gonna see how that works, just so you have 2 sources to check out. Myth number 6 is that you can't grow anything if you have bad soil. This is definitely not true. There are plenty of ways to amend your soil if it's not great. I would say the easiest way is using the lasagna method, because that's a very natural way to enrich your soil. So it uses layered material. So like you use brown organic matter, then you use green organic matter, and then on the very top, you're gonna put your soil. So basically it's like putting a layer of twigs, leaves, then in that middle layer, you'll put food scraps, any compost that you have. You can use, I don't know, green material like spinach, coffee grounds, banana peels, things that we talked about before when it came to like using natural fertilizers and not actually using chemicals. And then you put another layer of leaves to kind of separate the green organic layer from the brown organic layer. And then on the very top, you can put your soil. So these are all things that'll break down and give your soil more nutrients over time. So if it's bad, it's like, hey, don't worry about it. Eventually, the soil will take up all of those nutrients. It'll give you some good nitrogen, it'll give you some good carbon, all things that your plants really need. Myth number 7 is that you constantly need to be watering your plants. This actually couldn't be furthest from the truth. As far as water goes, most plants only need about 1 to 1.5 inches of rain every week. So I would say, okay, for example, today it's raining. I looked on my weather app, and apparently The sky is going to produce 1.4 inches of rain. Literally, that's enough. Like, unless you're growing something crazy that's really thirsty, like watermelon, I know corn can be kind of thirsty. You don't really need to water more than that. I would say if you're watering maybe like twice a week, but deeply, that's going to be more than enough. Overwatering has a lot of consequences. So if you overwater your garden, you can end up with shallow roots, which is never a good thing. You always want your roots to be nice and thick, or just whatever size they're actually supposed to be. Another complication you can run into is actually getting root rot. Myth number 8 is that you can only grow in the summertime. When it comes to food specifically. Now, this is definitely a huge myth because there are tons of winter season crops, fall season crops. I would say, first of all, just as a general rule, anything that's leafy and green, that's going to thrive in the fall. So think kale, think all your lettuce varieties, think cabbage, think Brussels sprouts, just the spinachy, leafy category. Most of that stuff pretty much grows in the fall. And then also, we've got things like squash, butternut squash, just all your typical things that grow well in cold weather. I'm planting some okra. I actually hate okra. It's slimy. I've just never liked it. Never liked it slimy. Never liked it fried. It's just not my thing. But my mom likes okra, so I go ahead and plant it for her. I mean, at least somebody digs it. Myth number 9 is that you have to be born with a green thumb. This is, once again, completely false. What actually happens is that brown thumbs become green thumbs through experience. So if you've ever said, well, I killed everything that I ever planted, so why on earth would I actually be a gardener? Like, I'm a brown thumb. It's just not going to work for me. Well, I would say it all depends on your mindset. If you feel like it isn't going to work for you, then you will train your brain to not seek out the information to, well, make it work for you. So I would say if you want to grow, just grow. And don't worry about being a brown thumb. Your thumb will slowly turn green as you learn how to keep things alive. And that's just what it is. We don't know until we know. And that's okay. Like, that is perfectly fine.